Namaste, my name's Gayatri, and today we're going to be practicing some deep stretching. Most of it will be on the floor. We probably won't even get off the floor, but you should feel nice and relaxed and tension-free after we've finished. We're going to start with some 3-part yoga breath, just to get ourselves grounded and ready for our practice. Bringing your hands onto your belly, relaxing your shoulders down away from the ears, bringing your awareness to your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. And we're going to start to deepen the breath, taking it right down into the lower lungs. So as you inhale, the belly will expand. As you exhale, belly will soften, drawing in towards the spine. Inhale, belly expands, and exhale, belly contracts. Just continue on with a few more breaths at your own pace. We'll take one more breath into the lower belly. And then you can either slide your hands up onto the ribs or cross the arms over, placing your hands on either side of your ribs. And we'll inhale into the middle lung section now. So as you inhale, you'll feel the ribs expanding outwards, and then as you exhale, you'll feel them contracting into the core of your body. Inhale, expanding, exhale, contracting. One more breath into the middle lungs. And then we'll uncross the hands, placing them up onto the chest. And fingers are lightly touching the collarbones. We're going to inhale into the upper lungs, chest will expand, and as you exhale, chest softens, collarbones will move back together. So we're just isolating each section of the lungs. So keep the lower lungs and the middle lungs relaxed. One more breath into the upper lungs. And then we'll keep one hand on our chest and take the other hand down below the navel. We're going to join all 3 breaths now for a complete yoga breath. So as you inhale, fill the lungs from the bottom to the top, and as you exhale, empty them from the top to the bottom, just like a balloon. Inhale, belly expands, then ribs, then chest. Exhale, chest softens, ribs draw in, navel draws in. So this is where our breath becomes like a wave, flowing in and out on the seashore, nice and rhythmical. We don't want to force the breath, it should be natural, but we want to slow it down and deepen it if we can. Take 3 more of these deep, relaxing breaths. And you can place your hands in your lap. Just relaxing your breaths. Breathing naturally. We'll begin our yoga asana practice now. So we're going to place our hands on our knees. We're going to practice some seated cat-cow. So we're going to round the back, and then we're going to lift the chest up to the ceiling. Exhale, rounding the back. Inhale, lifting that chest. And we'll do a few more. And coming up. We're going to bring our hands to Namaste. Interlacing the fingers, we're going to inhale as we lift the elbows up to the ceiling, stretching through the sides of the body. And then exhale, press forward, rounding out the back. Inhale as we stretch the spine up to the ceiling. And then exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, right arm sweeps up over towards the ear as we bend into the left elbow, stretching over to the left. Inhale, sweeping up. And then exhale, over to the right. Keeping the shoulder back. Inhale, sweeping those arms up, stretching upwards. Exhale, right hand to left knee, gazing over the left shoulder for a little twist. And then we'll inhale, left arm up. Exhale, bring it over towards the ear, reaching out, keeping your hand on your knee. And then inhale, sweeping those arms back up. Exhale, left hand to right knee, gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale, right arm sweeps up, and then take it over towards the ear, reaching out into the fingertips. Inhale, lifting those arms. Exhaling them behind your back, and we're going to interlace the fingers, lifting and inhaling. Stretch those shoulders out. And exhale back to Namaste. Inhale, sweep up, and then exhale to the floor, keeping your shoulders back and your spine straight. So you want to feel that chest lifting. We don't want to be rounding our back. You'll lose the stretch. Just relax your hips and let them stretch. And we'll take the hands over to the left knee. And then over to the right knee. Back to center. Walking the hands or sliding them back. And we're going to cross our legs over the other way. So this is probably the way that feels a bit uncomfortable to you, but it's good to do both sides. Coming back to prayer. We're going to inhale as we bring the elbows to the ceiling. Exhale as we press them forward, opening up those shoulder blades. Inhale, sweeping up to the ceiling. Exhale, lowering the arms. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. Take it over to the ear, reaching out. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, gazing over the shoulder. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, take it over to the ear. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, right hand to left knee, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, over towards the ear. Nice stretch for the top of the hip, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands behind the back, interlace them. Inhale as you lift and stretch that chest. Exhale, back to Namaste. Inhale, arms sweep up, opening the chest. Exhale, taking the hands to the front of your legs and walking them forward. You may be able to get your chest all the way down onto your legs if you've got those flexible hips. Lucky you. And we'll take the hands over to the right knee. And then over to the left knee. And coming back to center. sliding the hands back. We're going to come over onto our hands and knees now. So we're going to bring our hands directly under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. And we're going to move into cat-cow. So we're going to lift the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, rounding the back. And then we're going to come into cow pose as we lift the sit bones on the inhale. Exhale, round the back, tuck the tailbone under and gaze at your thighs. Inhale, lift the sit bones and gazing up. So we'll do a few more of these. Just do it at your own pace. This asana is a really good one to get in tune with your breath. So you'll just feel that naturally the breath exhales as you come into cat and naturally floods into your lungs as you come into cow. And we'll do one more. And coming into a neutral spine, we'll walk the hands to the front of the mat, bringing the head down in between the arms. Bring your forehead to the floor if you can reach it to the floor. You may want to place it on a block, or you can just lift it off the floor if your shoulders don't allow your head to come down that far. And we're drawing our armpits down towards the floor, stretching out those shoulders. We want to keep our hips on top of our knees. Just let your chest melt down towards the floor. Take 2 more big breaths, nice deep breaths into the belly. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the right. You can, if you want to deepen the stretch, bring your left hand on top of the right hand, or you can keep your hands side by side. And we're going to just gently draw that left shoulder down towards the floor. It's a really beautiful stretch. Or down that side of your body to the upper arm, shoulder, and the side of your body. And we'll walk the hands over to the left. Right hand on left if you want that extra stretch. And gently drawing that right shoulder down towards the floor. And we're walking back to the front, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders now. We're going to move into thread the needle. If you have shoulder issues or a tight back, you might find this exercise a little bit challenging. So if you do, you'll need to put a cushion or a bolster along your torso. We're going to inhale as we sweep the right arm up, and then exhale, bring it underneath behind the left arm, coming onto the shoulder and temple. And you want to lift into the right shoulder. It should be nice and strong. You don't want to just sink down. And from here, if you want a shoulder stretch, you can take this left arm forward. If you want it more of a spinal stretch, you can wrap the arm around the back and roll the shoulder back. Try to keep your neck lined up with your spine. And weight should be evenly distributed on both knees. We'll take a few breaths here. Nice relaxing breaths. And we'll inhale, left arm lifts. Take it down towards the floor and unthread. We're going to sweep the left arm up and then take it behind the right arm, coming onto shoulder and temple. Sliding the right arm forward for a shoulder stretch, or wrap around your back for a spinal twist. Bring that right hand under the shoulder, coming back up onto all fours, popping your bolster to the back of your mat if you're using a bolster. And we'll do a little bit more cat-cow, lift those sit bones, and then round the back. Then come to a neutral spine. We're going to swing the right leg over to the right hand side now. Toes are pointing to the front of your mat. And from here, if you can do it, not everybody can. If you're a little tight, you may not be able to. You can move down onto your forearms or even your forehead. Maintaining that straight back. And we don't want to struggle in our yoga poses. We want to just relax and enjoy it. If you're struggling, that's not a good sign. And if your body is struggling, you're probably more likely to be tensing up and you won't be able to stretch very well. So just let the breath stretch you out. The more you breathe and the more you relax, the more your body will just stretch at its own time. So we're just stretching the inner thigh, the groin area. And then we'll make our way back up onto our hands, bringing them under the shoulder, and we'll take the knee underneath the hip. And swing the left leg out to the side, making your way down to forearms or forehead. Or maybe if you've got blocks at home, you could have the blocks under your forearms if you need to be up a little higher. Coming up onto your hands, bringing your knee underneath your hip. And we're going to come into a child's pose. So you can have your knees a little apart if that's more comfortable for you. Stretching the arms forward. Just take a few breaths here as we let the hips relax, the lower back relax. And we're going to do a little flow. We're going to inhale to an easy plank. So we want to keep our hips up. We don't want to let them just sag down. So draw them up. Navel draws into the spine. And we're coming through a little chaturanga, just a nice easy one. So chest comes first. It's a little bit of a caterpillar type movement. And then lifting into a little cobra. Elbows are in towards your body. Elbows are bent and your hips are on the floor. And then we're exhaling into child's pose. We'll inhale to plank, exhale, chaturanga, inhale cobra, shoulders down and back, and exhale to child's pose. And we'll do one more of these. Inhale plank, exhale chaturanga, inhale cobra, and exhale to child's pose. Inhale to plank. And we'll lower to the floor. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders for Sphinx Pose. So we are going to pull the floor towards us and press the chest forward. And this will open up your spine and your back muscles. You feel them stretching. We'll take a few breaths. Now we're going to slide the left arm forward slightly, just so we can slide the right arm behind, cross the left arm over the front. We're going to walk those elbows away from each other, keeping your shoulders level. And then you can rest your chin on your upper arm. and relax. So gravity's doing all the work for us here. We just need to relax so that we can stretch. And we'll slide those elbows back into Sphinx. And we'll slide the right arm forward, left arm behind the right. Right arm crosses over the front. If you can keep your palms facing up, that's better. If you can do that. Working the elbows away from each other. Make sure your shoulders are level to your left forearm. Relax the glutes, relax the shoulders, the shoulders. Just relax the whole body. Sliding the elbows back under the shoulders. And we're going to lower down now onto our chest. We're going to take the right arm out in line with the shoulder. Left hand is next to the chest. And we're going to rock up onto our hip. You may need to bring your knee to the floor, especially if you have shoulder injuries or issues. If you need a deeper stretch, you can take your arm up higher than your shoulder. You can take one leg on top of the other. You can bend the knee, taking it behind, or you can even straighten the leg out. You can take your right hand behind you, right arm behind you. And this all helps to add more weight so that your shoulder will stretch. Rolling back onto your stomach, and right hand sits next to the chest. Left arm out to a T, rocking up onto that hip. Knee to floor, one leg on top of the other, or leg behind, arm behind, and relax. You can take that arm up higher, the hand up higher than the shoulder if you need a deeper stretch. Rolling gently back onto your stomach. We're going to take our hands down beside our body with the palms facing upwards. And we're going to press the lower pelvis into the floor, draw the navel into the spine, and lift your legs, and lift the torso and the arms into Bowlasana. Gazing down at your mat, you want to keep your the back of your neck nice and long. This is really good for strengthening the lower back muscles. And lowering to the floor. We'll take our feet into our hands. Now if you can only reach one foot at a time, that's fine. Maybe you can only reach one foot with one hand. You may need a strap. If you have trouble getting your foot, you can also come to your side. So you can take the foot and pull it in towards your glute. You can even rest on your arm if you like. So taking the feet into the hands, just taking the tops of the feet, and we're going to press the pelvis down into the floor as we draw the heels in towards the glutes. The more you press the hips down, the deeper that stretch will be. Now if you're doing one leg, come to the other side now. And for those who would like to come into bow pose, you can take the feet, or you can move the hands down to the ankles, flexing the feet and pressing the ankles or the feet into the hands, lifting into bow pose. Lowering down, bringing one cheek to the mat, wriggling the hip, arms are down beside you with the palms facing the ceiling. And we're bringing the hands beside the chest, lifting onto our knees, taking the knees wide apart, bringing the toes together, lowering into child's pose. It's more of a frog pose really. So we want our knees wider than an extended child's pose. You can place your fists one on top of the other, place your forehead on your fists. If your hips are up high, that might be more comfortable for you. Otherwise, you may be able to bring your forehead to the floor, your buttocks down onto your heels. And we're just breathing here, just relaxing the hips. Try not to clench your muscles, just let them relax. And we're coming up onto our hands, bringing the knees underneath the hips, and we're going to walk our hands forward about one hand length. We'll curl the toes under. We're going to swing our hips up into downward facing dog. So we're drawing the shoulder blades away, rolling the shoulder blades away from each other, sliding them down towards our hips. And we're going to bend the knees, press the hips back, just lengthening the spine. Head is in between the upper arms. Fingers are spread nice and wide. And then you can start to pedal the heels one at a time down to the floor. Just take your time here, no rush. Nice slow movements, rhythmical movements. Then you can bring both heels to the floor. And we're going to slide the right knee behind the right wrist. Moving into pigeon. So we're going to slide the left leg back a little bit. And if you need to adjust this foot, bringing it forward, that will deepen the stretch. You want to be able to keep your hips level though. If it's too intense, you can bring your heel all the way underneath your thigh if you like. You're still going to get a stretch through the glute area. And from here, you can make your way down to forearms if you like. You can be on blocks. Some people like to be a little bit higher, so you can have your arms on blocks. You may be able to bring your forehead all the way to the floor. Now, if you have knee problems, you're best to come into deer pose. So lower down onto your right hip, bring your left knee into your foot, and then you can come down over your thigh. And then we're going to come up onto our hands, bringing them underneath the shoulder. Step back to downward facing dog. Let's give that hip a little bit of time to stretch and relax after that. Deep stretching, just let it loosen off a bit. And then we'll slide the left knee behind the left wrist, adjusting the foot, Sliding the right leg back a little bit, coming down. So we're trying to keep our hips fairly level here. So you might have to feel the hips. You don't want one hip jutting up too much. You can come all the way to the floor if you like. Anywhere in between, maybe fists or forearms. Coming down onto that left hip if you have knee problems. We'll walk our hands back under the shoulders and step back to downward facing dog. Going to lower down onto our knees. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Now we're going to move into our balancing pose. We're going to slide the left leg out behind, right arm out in front. Pressing into the top of the foot to help you balance. You can gaze down at your mat or over your fingertips. Trying to get that back leg up nice and high. This helps to strengthen the glutes as well, hamstring muscles. Hand to floor, knee to floor. Right leg swings out behind. You can flex or point the foot, whichever you like. Hand out to the front, gazing over the fingertips. And we'll take our hand down, knee down, crossing the ankles. We're going to rock back onto our sit bones. And we'll bring our feet together, called Baddha Konasana. So draw the heels in towards your groin. Use a bolster or roll your mat up if you need a bit of height, or maybe a cushion under your hips. A lot of people find this very hard to do. If you're a little bit tight in the hips, you will need a little bit of height underneath your hips. So we're going to take the ankles. If you are quite flexible, maybe the tops of the feet, but I find the ankles are good if you're a bit stiff in the hips like me. So lifting the spine up nice and tall, really extending up. This helps to tilt the hips forward. Now you'll feel that stretch happening in the groin. Just relax. You make a real effort to relax those muscles in your groin. Just letting the knees sink to the floor. You can come forward if you need to. If you are not getting enough stretch, you probably need to just come forward, keeping that nice straight back as you come down. And we'll take the left leg out to a 45-degree angle and bring the right sole into the left thigh. And we're going to inhale the arms up, stretching that spine. Exhaling as we come down over the leg. One shoulder each side of the leg. And you can walk the hands towards your foot if you like. You can use a strap or a belt. Just want to keep that chest lifting as if someone's got a string attached, pulling it up. Nice stretch for the hamstring. And sliding the hands back up, we'll take the legs out in front of us, flexing the feet. Once again, sitting on a bolster if you need a little bit of height under your hips. We're going to inhale, lift, and exhale, come forward. So we're hinging from these hip creases, trying to get the belly down onto the thigh rather than the head to the knee. If your belly's down, then the chest will follow, head will follow. So keeping that lift to your chest, keep your spine long, and just coming down as far as you can. We're all at different levels of flexibility. So some people may be all the way down over the legs, some people are upright, but as long as you're getting a good stretch through your hamstrings, that's all that matters. One more nice, big, deep breath. And we're coming up. We'll take the right leg out to a 45-degree angle, bring the left sole into the thigh. Now, if your knee's up like mine, you may feel more comfortable popping a book or a block or a cushion under it. Then we'll inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale down and over the leg, drawing that belly down onto the thigh, keeping that chest lifting and the spine long. Just breathe, relax, and enjoy the stretch. And make your way up. We're going to take our legs out to a nice wide angle. So some people have a little V, some people have their legs out in line with their hips. It just depends on your body. So we get them out as wide as we can, flexing the feet. And then to start with, we'll bring our hands just to the outside of the hips. We're going to lift the spine up and then press forward. Even if you're quite flexible, this sort of gets you started. Now, once you start to come forward a fair way, you'll probably find it's more comfortable to bring your hands forward, walking your hands towards the front of the mat, or you can walk them down your legs if you like. And we'll come back up. If you're not already up, bring your legs together. We're going to stir the dal pot. So interlacing the fingers, lifting the spine up nice and tall. We all love dal, don't we? So just imagine that nice steaming pot of dal. We're going to stir that huge pot. So the bigger you make these circles and the slower, the harder it is for your abs, the more work they're going to get. So you can just do little tiny circles if you prefer. An easy ab workout. And then we'll change direction. And we're going to roll down. We're going to bring our knees into our chest. And bring our forehead up to our knees, rolling into a little ball, apanasana. And then take the knees and just roll them in circles. massaging the sacrum. Change direction. And slide your legs out. We're going to pop a bolster or rolled up blanket or cushion under your knees, especially if you have back issues. You might find it quite uncomfortable lying flat on the floor, but whatever is good for you. We're going to slide our feet slightly apart, arms away from the body, palms are facing the ceiling, fingers are naturally curled. Just relaxing the whole body, letting it sink into the floor. You should feel nice and stretched and tension-free now. Your mind is more calm, less agitated. It's getting into a nice rhythmical breathing pattern. Relaxing each of your toes, from the big toes to the little toes. Relaxing the soles of the feet, top of the feet. Heels sinking deeper into the floor the more you relax. Relax your ankles, let them soften. Relax your lower legs, your knees, your upper legs. Relax your hips, your pelvis. Feel your buttocks gently resting against the floor. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, your spine. Shoulders sinking down towards the floor. Relax your upper arms, your lower arms, your wrists, hands, fingers, thumbs. Let your belly soften, rise and fall with the breath. Your chest is soft and relaxed. Relax your neck, the back of your neck, the front of your neck and your throat. Relax your face, your scalp. Feel the back of your head resting against the floor. Feel the body melting deeper and deeper into the floor the more you relax. And gently begin to move your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. Taking your arms over your head, we're going to stretch from the fingertips to the toes. And bring the knees into the chest. Roll to one side. Just taking a breath in recovery. And then make your way up to sitting. I'm going to do a little bit of kirtan. So kirtan is a really nice way to finish a yoga class. Kirtan is an intrinsic part of the yoga system. So we've done yoga for the body, yoga for the breath, yoga for the mind, and this is yoga for the soul. So we all need a little bit of spiritual food for the soul, and this is that spiritual food which we all need. So I'm going to sing a mantra, Om Hari Om. I'll sing it through twice, and then you guys respond twice. I sing and you respond. So the mantra, Om Hari Om. Om Just want you to meditate on these profound words of wisdom from the Vedas. I am spirit, not matter. I am not the body, I am not the mind. I am the eternal spirit soul, the eternal spark of the Supreme Soul. I am only temporarily in a material body. The body is temporary, but I am eternal. Aham Brahmasmi. Namaste, and thank you for joining us. See you again soon.